name is Nancy Simpson, and I'm really glad to be sharing with you today. I'm going to tell you the story of my leukemia. Cheery, huh? I got a lump on my neck a couple years ago, and I didn't think too much about it. It was just a lump. And I went to the doctor. Doctor wasn't that concerned. A couple months went by, it was still there. But my daughter, Erin, she was concerned. She's like, Mom, that's not right. Your doctor should be worrying about it. I'm like, well, the doctor's not worried. Why would I worry? She goes, Mom, you need to see another doctor. You need to find out what this is. So I ended up going to Erin's doctor. She even made the appointment. And Erin's doctor said, you know, it doesn't feel like anything to me either, but let's just be on the safe side. Let's just get a CAT scan. I'm like, well, what could it be? She said, well, it could be lymphoma. I'm like, what's that? She said, that's cancer. I said, what else could it be? She said, reactive node disease. I'm like, okay, what is that? She said, it's just where the nodes are a little too big. I said, well, that's what I have. Look at me. I feel great. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I have reactive node disease. She goes, well, let's just get the CAT scan and make sure. I'm like, okay. So we get the CAT scan, go back to her office, and she's holding the results, and I say, what does it say? And she goes, it says suspicious for lymphoma. I said, what does that mean? She goes, well, it just means it could be lymphoma. But I said, but it still could be reactive node disease, right? And she goes, right, it still could be that. And I'm like, well, that's what I have. And she said, but we're going to need to make sure. We're going to need to like biopsy the node and just make sure. Like, are they going to have to put me out and do surgery? She goes, yeah. So put me out, did the surgery. I'm in the surgeon's office, and the surgeon walks in. The second he walked in, I knew. I knew. And he said that the node was cancerous and it was malignant. And I was like, oh my God, am I going to die? What does it mean? What kind of cancer do I have? Am I going to die? And he's like, I'm a surgeon. I'm not an oncologist. You're going to need to get yourself to an oncologist. I'm like, oh. So I still don't know how bad it is. I don't know how terrified I should be, but I'm pretty terrified. I get myself to the oncologist. He looks at the report and everything, and he says, you have chronic lymphocytic leukemia. And he said, I'm sad to tell you that it is one of the few incurable cancers left. I'm like, incurable cancers left? What does that mean? And he said, it means that we don't really have any chemo that can make it go away or can put it into a healthy remission. I'm like, are you telling me I'm going to die? And he said, I'm telling you that it's incurable. The good news is that it is a chronic leukemia and not an acute leukemia, so it's insidious. It slowly grows until it, compromises you to the point that you die. And I'm like, well, how long is that going to be? Because nobody can really say. Like, oh my God, incurable leukemia. Oh my God. In a second, 1 second, my world went from technicolor, everything color, to gray. Gray. As I walked out of his office, gray. I became a zombie. I was the walking dead. Came home to my home, had turned into a mausoleum when I was gone, a place that I was going to die. My clothes, nothing. Food, nothing. I'm a girl, I love purses. Nothing. There was nothing. Everybody was alive. I was dead. When I went out, people would be talking about vacations and going to school and this and that. I couldn't even hear them. They were planning a future, and I was planning a death. And even worse than that, in the middle of the night, I'd be laying in my bed, and when you go to sleep, you forget. I'd wake up my normal self, and then all of a sudden, I would remember, you have leukemia. You're dying. It's like a Mack truck hit me. You're dying. And for 3 months, I walked around a zombie dying. Then I was in church one Sunday, and the pastor was talking, and the pastor said, talking about the face of God, the face of God. And the pastor said there's no bankruptcy, there's no divorce, there's no deep depression, there's no death of a child. There is nothing that can happen to you that the face of God is not there. I had thought of my leukemia as little worms, leukemic worms that were eating me and growing and killing me. Not a thing I could do about these worms that had invaded my body. And I had a miracle in church. I can only call it the grace of God and a miracle, because somehow as the words, there's no place the face of God is not. Somehow those words miraculously took hold in me, and on the face of every single leukemic worm, the face of God became. And instead of dying, that Sunday I was resurrected. I became alive. Jesus said what? Jesus said, love your enemies. How many people fight their cancer? They're at war with their, I'm going to beat this, I'm going to kill it. They're at war with their cancer. Me, I love your enemy. It said forgive your enemy. Pray for your enemy. So I told my leukemia, I said, I forgive you. By the grace of God, really, it was a miraculous Sunday. I said, I forgive you and I love you. And if you're my enemy, I am going to pray for you and love you. And you know something weird? My leukemia, I know you're going to think I'm crazy, maybe I am, but my leukemia talked to me, and this is what it said. It said, we don't want to hurt you. We love you, but we lost our way. We don't know how to stop dividing. We got sick. We mean you no harm. We want to work with you to get well. We want you to be well. If you die, we die. We're in this together. And so my leukemia and I became friends. And interestingly enough, my leukemia has taught me a lot about love, about faith, about trust, about what really matters in life, and about courage. My leukemia has become my friend, and it has taught me a lot of really cool things. And one of the most interesting things is that my leukemia and I are in this together. We want to get well together. We want to eat good foods together. We want to exercise together. See, when you're at war with your own body, you're at war with your body, you're chaotic, it's a struggle. But I'm not struggling anymore. I'm at peace with my body. I'm not at war with myself. And my leukemia and me walk through life as a team, learning, loving, trusting, growing. And think about this. Everybody exits the earth. You're going to exit the earth. I'm going to exit the earth. We all go. Something takes us out. So my friend, leukemia, is probably the friend that was sent to take me to the next realm. We're going to do that together. And I would just like to share with you that disease doesn't necessarily want to hurt you. It just is something that is. And that whatever disease you might have or you might get, you can forgive it, you can love it, and you can work with it, and you can become a powerful team, a powerful person, a powerful entity on the earth with your disease actually teaching you, blessing you, mentoring you, like mine's done with me. Thank you very much for listening to my story, and blessings to you all.